This is Mike Sullivan, Westminster Magistrates Court, where Huw Edwards has just been given a 6-month prison sentence, suspended for 2 years for offences of possession, storing indecent images of children. And in an extraordinary court case, really, the downfall of Mr. Edwards was laid bare. He was described by the judge as the most popular journalist in the United Kingdom, but finds himself today with his reputation in ruins for the most vile of offences. And today there have been some of the details of what he actually did have been read out in court, and frankly, sitting in there, I felt that they were quite stomach-churning. They feature images of boys as young as 7 years old. After receiving a batch of one lot of films, clips showing a boy of between 13 and 15, Edwards actually wrote a message back to the person who sent them saying they're amazing. Now, the court also heard that Edwards had also been paying money to the 25-year-old man. In fact, at the time he was only 19, Alex Williams. He was a university student. They'd met online when Williams contacted him through his Instagram page. They'd met once in person and also had a call together, but the prosecutor, Ian Hope, said most of their relationship was actually on an online basis and it involved the exchange of this filthy material. Huw Edwards had been paying him money, and it transpired that after Alex Williams had sent him this stuff, this would often be followed up with a request for money, and then over a period of time, this is from December 2020 through to the summer of the following year, he received up to £1,500, he says, from Huw Edwards. The stuff was sent via WhatsApp, those images. There was nothing ever found on Huw Edwards' own phone, because they weren't there when the police finally arrested them. As well as being given a suspended sentence, Edwards was also ordered to undergo a sex treatment program. This is a 40-day program, so taken quite seriously by the judge, because the defence counsel had argued against this suggestion. He's also got to do 25 rehabilitation sessions. Now, the judge felt that it wasn't something, he didn't pose a direct threat to children, but the court also heard that from one psychiatrist that Edwards actually posed a high risk of potentially reoffending again. He put it as high as 70% in terms of offending again by receiving more or trying to obtain more of these obscene images. Now, you look at someone like Edwards, the anchorman of TV, and there's this mask of you can't see through it, but the court today has heard, this mask has been lifted, if you like, where the court's heard some details about his personal life, how he'd struggled with his homosexuality from 1994, but that had remained latent. He'd managed to forge this fantastic career, but under the surface there were all these mental issues bubbling, a difficult childhood growing up in South Wales. The court heard how he suffered from an inferiority complex because he didn't go to Oxford or Cambridge and he went to Cardiff University. He had issues with his father, apparently. It makes all his failings, it puts him in a clearer light for people perhaps to have some understanding of what drove him to this. As the court heard on numerous occasions today, behind every one of those images is a victim, a young child that has been sexually abused. It's men like Huw Edwards that perpetuate that.